Okay, I finally figured out where my socket was at. It's a 1 1/16. That's, yeah, let's go the wrong direction there for a minute. Okay, now this is where the film comes into play. So I'm going to derail these belts. Number one. There's number one. I'm going to go ahead and let the motor. Let me see. I need to lift. Where's my bar out here? Lift that shaft up. So I got about a 1/7/8 down there. And it's going to need to be a deep well. Okay, let me grab the right tool here. Okay, I got a little slack in here now. Here comes number two. And here's number three. And number four. And here's number five. And number five. Pull it straight out. Pin came out. Okay, this pulley really originally had this polycarbonate, whatever, it's just spacer. It's probably a little thicker than what negative film would be. Put that there, and I am missing a pin. It shouldn't be hard to locate. Get my hands clean. Well, I don't see it right off the top, but I will see it. Now, here's a little plumbing I did here. These bearings, the way they work is they want you to loosen the bottom. Take the cap off the bottom and then pump grease in there until the old grease comes out and the new grease is in the bearing. So this is the exit line. It was very hard to, well, you had to do this. You had to take all this off to get to that plug. So I simply moved the plug down 3 inches and across 4 inches, or in that neighborhood. And where you fill them at is over here in front. And there is the grease zerk fitting for the rear bearing, the front bearing, and then the rear bearing is here. And the rear bearing, the pin is not hard to locate or get a wrench on. We're down here, let's read this motor plate while we're here. 3 horsepower. I know it's 2-speed. Where does it say that at? Looks like it's been, oh no. 7.3 and 9.8, that is the amperage of the different speeds. It's a tri-clad induction motor. Oh, very good. My belts 1 through 5, I'll try to put those back in the same order. Now I am set to remove this, the bearing in here, and then there's nothing else except for 4 screws to release that clutch housing. I'll probably take this reader tube off just to prevent it from getting broken somehow. So we'll get all this disassembled and we'll be ready to grab onto that housing and pull that thing off. Well, in all reality, I don't have to take the clutch off to remove the headstock. So I do want to take the clutch off to get it on there better, to get a seal on there, a better seal on there. Now, but it's not essential for releasing the headstock. So while I think about that, we're going to take this off. Get all these cap heads loose here. Okay, I believe there's 5. There's 1, 2, 3. And here's number 4 with a locating pin. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's it. Next can be done here with the wobbler. This is just a housing for those outer gears to sit in. I have a real good picture of the reversing gear after this is removed. Well, how long are you? Just as long as the others. I think I have my camera thing set up. Apparently what was going on is the distance shots were out of focus. And Fred was thinking that maybe I'd inadvertently turned off the autofocus mechanism, which is very possible. I went through the menus of all the adjustments that you can make and didn't really see anything about autofocus, but what I did was I set the camera back to its default settings. So hopefully that in itself will take care of that. Now here's this one I didn't anticipate. I shouldn't have to take that off. That'll probably come off with this. This is just a cover. So I think if I just give this a couple of knocks with a soft blow, it'll come right off of here. Okay, there we go. Didn't even take that. Okay, this guy just has enough clearance to get around that gear. So there's that. It's the main shaft, it's the main rear bearing, and this is that reverse drive dog. And like I said, that is the one that I manufactured. So there's 2 screws here. There's 2 like this in the front. You can still see I have this marked L for left. So there's two bolts here, 2 in the front, and there's 2 cap-on Allen screws on the side. And headstock is free to be handled. Well, I almost almost, you know, I'm really kind of surprised I'm here already. I think I may go ahead and put the screws back in that clutch, keep it stayed put, and we will just go ahead and start addressing the headstock now. So I'm going to go ahead and put all the screws back in the clutch and get rid of this. Well, I'll leave the jack handy. If I'm going to go along with my plan to use the engine and something else for counterweight, but you know what? I'll be able to pick this up and test it if that motor is going to be enough to, engine is going to be enough to support this weight. Because if I can pick this up a 1/4 inch even, I can kind of test the system, you know, kind of see if I'm in any kind of danger of tipping. And if everything feels secure, I can go ahead with the lift. If not, I will put it back down and work on some more support back here in the back of my crane setup. Well then, I guess you could say that's that. Go ahead and end this video here, and I will do what I need to do to get ready to pull that headstock off. I can't believe I'm already there, but yeah, 6 bolts away, 2 cap head screws and 4 bolts, which are a bitch to, the ones in the front are a bitch to get to. It's like a 1/16 of a turn at a time. Oh yes. Now, I promised my wife a carnic here earlier, so we're going to go out and have a picnic in the car. But, you know, we'll go around midnight, I guess. Put a few beverages in the car and whatnot. And go to Wendy's and get a baked potato, maybe a cheeseburger. I could lie and say a salad, and give me a triple with double bacon, extra mayonnaise. Just, we'll bring our own mayonnaise, never mind. Man, it's scary how close to the truth that is. Well, I haven't even taken the top of the headstock off. Let's make that part of this video. Okay, you got 2 cap head screws, 2 slotted head screws. Holds this cover on. Forget about how much that weighs. Okay, let's look underneath here. We have a shifter fork there for, that is for back gear, accessory, etc. There we go. And here's a look into the bowels of the headstock. Let's wash my gloves off a little bit, and I'll grab some light and bring the camera over here and give you a gander. Okay, there we go. Is this light going to be adequate to the job? I think so. Okay. Dismounting magnetic camera. Activating the rear screen. I could pretend to tell you some stuff that I pretend to know about, but all I can tell you for sure is where that shifting fork went was right here. And that's back gear engaged and disengaged. There's back gear engaged. You ain't moving that thing. And now we'll disengage it. Well, I can't pretend to know anything that's going on in there. Let's see if we can get a look down a little deeper now. You can see the third, I think you can see the third set of gears down there. You can see one gear, there's a black pipe on the left, and then there's a gear down beyond it. Then there's the next set of gears, and here's a shifter. Let me see if I can get this thing hooked up here. So this is what I call A, B, and C. And then I got this numbered as 1, 2, and 3. Now, 2 is kind of a neutral that allows you to put the other one either in A or B. This one won't move unless this one is in neutral, which is I call number 2. And over here it's called B. So if I want to go to B1, it's like that. And B1 is 314 RPMs. If I leave the B here and go to B3, there's 1, 2, 3. B3 is 190 RPMs. Now we go to B as our base here. Go to this one. So this is 2A, 490, 2C, 800. And then when you activate the back gear, there's a whole there's 8 more ranges of with back gear engaged with this down and back gear engaged with this up. I call this full back gear. I don't have a name for that. So yeah, there you go. Now the oiling tube that I repaired and made a new fix for is down through here, and it shoots oil up. Comes out here and here. Never worked the entire time. I had a fix, and I kind of was goofing around with it after I installed everything, and I ended up dislodging the tube that feeds the top. Now when this is turned on, there's plenty of oil splashing on all these gears. And you'll notice all these gears are pristine. There's no chips, no breaks. And here's another look at that shifting lever. Shifting dog goes in, actually goes in like this. And when you shift that knob, you are shifting this. Okay.